What's going on, guys? So, just a couple of things I wanted to touch upon. I want to try and make this kind of like a little bit of a two-part thing. So, the first thing I want to touch upon is about as far as like Trump and, as far as Trump actually like leaving office, that kind of thing, or getting impeached. It looks like the way things are going and stuff, everybody might want to just kind of like buckle their seatbelts and just hold on for the ride. Unless Republicans are actually going to really step up and participate in that endeavor, then more likely Trump's not going to go anywhere. Even if his performance numbers are in the toilet. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. So it's gonna take a lot to uproot him out of there. And then the other thing I wanted to touch upon real quick too is, so there's a lot of people out there in the back of their mind or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be another civil war and stuff like that, and they probably did their little preps, or they think they did their little preps. They went out and bought them like 30 rifles and 60 pistols or whatever, and a boatload of ammunition and all that, because they think it's going to be this big line drawn, and it's going to be two sides, and then people are just going to go at it and everything. That's the furthest from the truth. That is the furthest from the truth. A civil war now is not going to look like anything remotely like the first Civil War. Nothing remotely like it. And the reason for that is, so here's the thing. You're going to have people out there, all right, say like this thing pops off or whatever. You're basically, that's just going to be a green light for gang members to go after other gang members. So that's going to be a situation within itself. Then you're going to have you have the Proud Boys come out and stuff, and they'll cause a little bit of havoc. But I'm going to tell you what's going to stop that, though. They're not going to be out as long as you think they are, or as long as they think they're going to be out. The thing that's going to stop that is a miscellaneous group out there. I like to call them the non-shooters. And when I mean by the non-shooters, those are the people who go out, they buy the most powerful and the most expensive firearm to compensate for them being lazy and not going to the range and actually practicing with it. So with that being said, you're going to have some people running around out there for a minute, because they're going to wind up stopping real quick too. Running around for a minute with a Desert Eagle 50 EA, slinging rounds, never got to a gun range in their life, but they're sending that round downrange somewhere, and it's going to clip some old rando. It's going to clip some random person. And you're going to have a lot of people out there that are like that. They're going to be getting clipped, and some of them Proud Boys, they're going to be getting clipped by some random knucklehead out there with a firearm that's never put in any kind of range time. So you can call this either I wouldn't say friendly fire. You can't call it friendly fire, but it's going to be unintentional fire. You're running down the street, engaging whoever you're engaging with, and then you accidentally get clipped, in the leg or something like that, or in the knee, or you might catch one in the arm or in the hand or something like that. And the reason why I say these odd body parts is for the simple fact that you got to keep in mind, this is somebody who doesn't know how to shoot. And they just happen to get lucky enough to wing you. So now, that's another thing that comes into play. Now, all hell is already broken loose and stuff like that. So, access to medical attention is not going to be like readily available. So that's something else you got to think about. You got to have some combat medic skills, or somebody that you're running with or hanging out with in this civil war. They got to have some combat medic skills. And then you're going to have another group. This group is going to be the group that's pretty well armed. Probably go to the range casually, on and off, just so they got like a pretty decent familiarization of the firearm and kind of know how to use it. These people are going to be the ones that are hunkering down at home. These are your homebody warriors. These are the ones that they don't really care about a whole bunch of shit that's going on in the streets and stuff. They're more concerned about protecting their home. And they're probably kind of stacked up on some rations and stuff like that. At least enough, excuse me, enough to where they feel like, hey, well, we can possibly just ride this whole thing out until it's over, that kind of thing. So you're gonna have those people, and then you're gonna have the little group of people, like to call them the bandits. They're gonna try and basically like rob, loot, or try and steal supplies and resources from other people. But they're typically going to go after the people that they feel that are the weakest, the easiest targets. They're going to go after them. But they're going to mess around and find out and run into the people who kind of got their shit together. And those are the ones that are going to deal with them. So this isn't going to be no like, one side lines up, the other side lines up, and then we're going at it, and it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a bunch of people out there with firearms and stuff like that are fighting for multiple reasons. Everybody's personal agenda or whatever. That's what they're going to be fighting for. Everything else don't matter. And then you're going to have like a very, very special group that's out there. And this group right here, I want to call the ones that had their head stuck in the sand the whole time and was in denial. So now this group right here, they are not ready. They are not ready at all. And this group right here, these are going to be the first ones to go down. This is the group that, and here's the crazy thing, and this is the reason why things are moving so slow as it is now with everything. Because there's a lot of Americans, there's a lot of people out there that don't watch the news. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that don't watch the news. As a matter of fact, I asked the gentleman yesterday, I was like, hey, so what do you think about, such and such and everything? And he was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch the news. But he's not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that they stick their head in the sand and they ignore stuff. And those are the ones to wait until stuff is at their front door. And then it's too late. Yep. Those are the ones. They're waiting till stuff is at their front door and then it's too late. Because now they're trying to get ready. But get ready time is already passed. It's long gone. So, I mean, you guys tell me what you think and everything. That's just kind of like my personal opinion, you know, based off of just observing kind of human behavior and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there are going to be people out there that are all G'd up, ready to go and stuff like that. All done up, you know, looking like SEAL Team 6 and whatnot. I'm not saying that those guys aren't out there. They're going to be out there too. And yep, you're gonna have to be prepared for them. And like a lot of them guys that are gonna be all G'd up like that and stuff, those are ex-military. And I guarantee you, they're gonna know what the hell they're doing. A lot of the ex-military people and stuff. So, I'm going to put the ex-military people into two categories. The ones that got like basic, you know, marksman training and stuff like that, but they weren't in a combat like AFSC or MOS. They're going to be smart enough and they're going to know all the things not to do. All the scenarios not to put themselves in, but they're not necessarily operator material. But they're not going to be going at it stupid. Now, all the other ones that have seen combat action, that was in a combat MOS or a combat AFSC and seen shit and been in shit, those are ones you need to worry about. Those are the ones you need to be worried about, because those are your operators. And those guys, they ain't gonna have no problem sending you to the afterlife. So those guys right there, those are the ones you want to be kind of cool with. Guys that like hunt on a regular basis, and I'm not talking like little bullshit like squirrels and stuff like that. I'm talking about some of the big game hunters and stuff like that. Those are the guys you want to be down with, because them guys are used to killing something. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Just having a little issue here with traffic. But yeah, those guys, they're used to killing something. And those the guys I was talking about before that, they're used to hunting human beings. But anyways, so yeah, just let me know what you guys think and everything. You know, how you see it going down.